This week we did several readings that reflect different things going on in the time period of Jonathan Edwards. The first that I found the most interesting were the prayer bid requests. And I found these interesting because they were just little snapshots of everyday life, of what people were going through, of what they were praying for. Some were, you know, positives, some were negatives, deaths. I think some of the diseases were like blood flow and long fever, and sore cancer were some of the things that were being requested to be prayed about, and others were positive, just, hey, we're doing pretty good, thank you, God. And this collection solely survives by accident because Jonathan Edwards, sewed them in to some of his sermon books, and he used them, some of them, in his sermons to kind of probably address the problems or feelings or the thanks that people were having. And it's just, we have a form of prayer bids today, prayer requests today. There's churches that I've attended have had prayer lines. You can text and email pastors and spiritual leaders nowadays. So it's a form of prayer bid request, but it's just neat to have this captured and this saved in such a time, to kind of just go back and look at what it was like in the 1730s and what people thought and how they communicated with the spiritual leaders and the preachers of their day. And then the readings kind of transition to like writings by George Whitefield, or sermons George Whitefield delivered, that spoke of how the British colonies were divine, and were given their lands and their opportunities by God, and they needed to be merciful, and they needed to be thankful for everything that He has given them, which kind of leads us into Jonathan Edwards' part, where he was trying to reaffirm his congregation, where he was trying to recovenant shortly right after the awakening years, which probably goes more to say that people weren't necessarily falling out of religion or God. Maybe people were just tired of the overbearing ministers constantly beating them down and telling them they weren't good enough, and every little sin was just magnified greatly. So some of the writings from the Whitfields or the Edwards, maybe more that the people need to do this, and the people were guilty of this and that and the other. And the prayer bids kind of show that people knew who God was and knew that God was their reason, and were asking Him for help and thanking Him for the small things. So there may be something more to the contrasting or the contradictions, however, of the two readings, that it just goes to kind of show that maybe they were on the same page. Maybe the preachers could have been a little less overbearing, and maybe the people could have been a little bit more responsive or respecting the church and things. And so in close, that's kind of what I got out of the readings this week. Hope everyone has a good week. Thank you.